Alright, so we're going to take a look at Zbrush. We will be using Zbrush in our class this term. Zbrush is a very simple software to use to do simple things. But when you want to do more complex things, it takes a lot more study and practice. Now, if you want to do, whether or not you want to do simple things or complex things, in Zbrush, there are some things you need to know in the very beginning of using the software that if you don't know, you can't do anything with it. And I will demonstrate that for you here. When you open up Zbrush, this is what you'll see. I'm using Zbrush 2021.6.4, which will be important for you to use probably the same version as me. If you don't have that version, don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. But when you open up Zbrush, we have this interface right here. Now this box that we see, this menu that we see, palette, they call them palettes inside of Zbrush, is called the lightbox. So you can close this a couple of ways. There is the lightbox button in the upper left. You can see that right there. You can also hide the lightbox on the upper right of the lightbox. You can see that. And you can also press the comma key right next to the period key on the keyboard, and it will go away. So there you go. Now this is Zbrush. We can't do anything. Watch, if I click and drag, nothing. This is not obviously something that we want to see. And most likely you're going to have this palette showing over here on the right. To get this double-headed arrow, just roll over to the side here and click and drag. So we can't really do anything. If I click on the sphere here, I can create a sphere, but all I can do is create spheres. I can't do anything with those spheres. They don't do anything for me. And I don't know why Zbrush is set up this way. I've never looked into it, but it's set up this way. So to fix this problem, what you need to do is you need to say click and drag out a sphere. You don't have to necessarily, but you want to click on edit. And now the last sphere that I created is in 3D space, and if I navigate my space, you can see there's a sphere right there. To get rid of these other objects on the screen, I can press Control N and they will go away. Control N is in new, and then I can zoom in on this here and get it set up. So when you're in Zbrush, you have this this object now in my scene. Now I have an object in here, and that's the first thing you need to get. Now, if I wanted to modify this object, I'm not going to be able to. It's going to tell me I can't. What do you know? Click on the little red dot over here to make this window go away. Fortunately, if you read that message, it tells you to make the object a polymesh 3D, which you can do right here. So if I wanted to sculpt on this object, I could make it a polymesh 3D over here. However, we don't want to make our objects that we create inside of Zbrush polymesh 3D. Now we're going to import our objects into Zbrush that we've created in Maya. This used to be the way that Zbrush operated in the very beginning. You would make things in other 3D software packages and then put them into Zbrush. We can make things directly in Zbrush right now. We can just start. I can just start with a sphere and then make an entire figure out of this sphere. I've done it before. It's not hard to do. What I want to do though is I want to show you how to import into Zbrush. Now I need to have an object in Zbrush to start off with. So here's my object. This is actually called a tool inside of Zbrush. You need to slide over here to the right, and I'm going to have my subtool right here. Just click on that and you can see you have a subtool here. So I'm going to go up to the tool palette here, and I'm going to click on import, and then I'll bring in an object. We exported OBJ files, so we will have, see, do I have any? Yeah, I have an OBJ file in here. Let's bring this in, open this up. This will be the axe. There's an axe right there. So there's my axe, and it's in the 3D space of Zbrush. If I wanted to bring in another object into Zbrush with this axe, this object, I would need to append in a new object right over here in my subtool palette. If it's closed, then make sure you click on the subtool palette to open it up. And you want to go down to append, and you'll click on append. Just bring on any shape. The 3D circle is fine. Bring that in. You want to click on that shape right here, and then you want to slide up here to import, and then I can bring in, say, the barrel, and I'll have an axe and a barrel in my scene. There's my axe and my barrel in the same scene together. So that is how you would bring in multiple objects. You would have to append in a new object, then click on it, and then import over that. Now let's say I am done with this and I'm good to go. That's what I needed to do. This is the intro to Zbrush that I wanted to show you. And if you watch the next menu, it'll be on, or the next video, it will be on navigation.